I know this is my first video, but imagine if you lived in a world where your wildest fantasies existed. Well, not these ones, you weirdo. These ones, where witches, ogres, and familiars exist. That is the world of Witch Watch. Let me tell you the basic premise of the show. This witch named Nico has a prophecy of a disaster befalling her, so she will need to be protected, and that's why our other main character, Morihito, or for short, he is an ogre who is acting as a bodyguard to protect her, and she does not know about this prophecy. There is some romantic tones in this anime like you would guess, but that is not the main selling point of the anime. It's the characters and the comedy. Comedy animes are a big hit or miss for most people.
Oh, look at that boner.
Me included, because a lot of comedy animes tend to be a lot of shouting, a lot of cringy jokes, or just a lot of fan service. However, if you dig deep enough through all the trash and mediocrity, you will find some that are actually funny. Witch Watch is one of those actually funny ones. The jokes or references aren't too hard to understand, like they're not going to make a reference or joke about Bubbles, the chimpanzee Michael Jackson bought in 1983. You don't have to start searching on Google, what does this word mean? It's one of those animes that you can just sit down and watch when you need something to laugh, or just after a really long day. Kenta Shinohara, the guy behind Witch Watch, is a comedic genius. Being able to make the audience watching it laugh multiple times while not using a lot of fan service or cringy jokes is amazing. And on top of that, he has mastered the art of switching. He's able to make you laugh on moments and then make you cry or feel very relatable. There is things in this anime that will genuinely have you laughing and other things that will genuinely have you locked in. One of my favorite episodes that had me dying of laughter, oh, spoiler, if you don't want to be spoiled, go here. In episode 7, Moi busts into Nico's room because of the loud singing, then finds Khan and Nico singing on YouTube. He finds out that the two of them heard they can just make money from YouTube by just doing whatever they wanted. I laugh as they're obviously not caught up on the new method of streaming. They're not real bag chasers like us guys. Also, I have a crypto coin you should totally invest. I found it so funny when Moi just started dunking on Nico and Khan's channel, telling them the editing is bad, telling them thumbnails are lazy and it reeks of imitation from the other channels. I just couldn't stop laughing. Comedy animes can sometimes be therapeutic because of the unique ability to make you laugh and just be in such a happy state of mind, thinking, hey, maybe the world doesn't suck. So this anime to me is genuinely a comedic masterpiece. And also, if you're wondering why Witch Watch will feel familiar to some other animes you watch, that's because Kenta Shinohara, the author of Witch Watch, worked as an assistant for the author of Gintama. You might see some small similarities to Gintama and his other two animes. Yes, you heard correctly, other two. He also made Scared Dance and Astral Lost in Space. If you expect me to start talking about those two other animes, I am not going to do that. I haven't watched either of them. I was too busy focused on this video. So my time hasn't exactly been on anything else except work on YouTube videos. I should have said this at the beginning, but I only watched up to episode 10 because the moment episode 11 starts, it feels darker. Not just in looks, but the background music too. So I wanted to make a video while it still felt all nice and funny before something very bad happens. So subscribe, who knows, if we get 50 likes, I'll make another video about the ending or a plot twist if that happens. Another cool thing I noticed is the opening is directed by Megumi Ishitani, who, if you don't know, is a legendary anime director who has done some very, very popular scenes and openings. Even in just the Witch Watch opening, the transitions and fluidity even makes you wonder how she can be so creative that she makes gaming references and openings or her amazing transitions in other animes. It always looks so good. Now for the other selling point, like I said in the beginning, the characters. The characters might honestly be my favorite part of the anime. They're unique and quickly make you feel attached because they're actually relatable and feel like real people. You can genuinely watch one of the characters and actually say that just like me for real. Not the Anekoji just like me for real, but the otaku or nerd who hides that side in public just like me for real. Or the person who struggles to communicate their feelings but tries just like me for real. This is kind of a spoiler, but there's a group of characters who are purposefully made to be generic. The group has a Gyaru, pretty boy president, and even a nerd hacker. Yeah, they're generic. However, even the people in the anime are aware they're generic. It was funny to me how Moi just called them out on it too. Moi is a cool-headed ogre whose main goal is to protect Nico, and he takes it very seriously. You'd think they go the normal route of having one sane person and the other being chaotic, but with Witch Watch, they take that and run off the rails with it. Moi may be badass, but he still has his moments where you can laugh or be entertained by him. With Nico, instead of her magic just messing everything up, it actually helps people. Her goal is wanting to see people happy and help them with her magic. Of course, sometimes things can go left, but the thing I liked about Nico was she actually has common sense. She will genuinely tell you magic isn't needed to solve this one, buddy. You just need better self-confidence and to actually express yourself. She doesn't just hear people out and say, okay, let me wave around my magical wand and razzle dazzle. And that in itself is so unique. Of course, even separate, Moy and Nico are good characters, but Moy and Nico are genuinely such a good comedic duo. They don't use cringy jokes or just the fact that Nico likes him to keep pushing the story forward. They both have their own priorities, and it's so funny how different they are. Like, yeah, Nico wants to help people and Moy wants to protect her, but it just kills me when Moy is in his head saying, I must protect her. She will know peace. And in her head, she's just saying, I can't wait for him to fall in love with me and then we can. She's a little pervy when it comes to Moy, but it's not too bad. I know it's been all fun and jokes, but there is some parts in this story that are emotional. This is a spoiler too. I just realized how many spoilers are in this video. But there is a part where Nico shrinks herself and then falls into Moy's pocket. But then, while she's in Moy's pocket, the girl comes forward to him to confess feelings to him, and in that moment, we finally see Nico's backstory. When she was younger, her magical power got too big and she lost control, which made a huge explosion in the house. And then, her father, who was already having problems with the whole witch and human relationship dynamic, ends up leaving because of that and abandoning them. When I heard that, I genuinely was so sad, especially since Nico was realizing this as a child and blaming herself for it. And when she said her parents couldn't get along, oh man, I could feel the emotional pain. While I was watching it, I genuinely started thinking like, wait, what the fuck? Like, I genuinely felt that. Of course, I'm not gonna cry over it because, you know, I'm just too Sigma. Holy shit, I'm gonna kill myself. That joke was horrible, but damn, it made me feel something. It's revealed Moy as a kid comforted her from that, and that's the same memory he has of her when he fell in love with her. That's such a crazy and amazing way to show both of their backstories in a cool, similar way. I know we're getting to the end and everything, but I do want to say, this anime is not going to be the funniest thing you've ever seen. It still has its little kinks and small things that it needs to be fixed on, like the animation that sometimes will just go straight down, or certain jokes just won't hit. I found it funny. Yes, it is really funny, and I laughed at a lot of things. However, Koma, this is not the funniest anime. It's not perfect. It'll make you laugh and everything, but it is still just pretty good. I think it's funny and still good for what it is. Of course, the two last episodes, 11 and 12, will probably. Oh, I think it's going up to 24, not 11 and 12. But I'm sure the last episode might change my opinion. So around there is gonna probably give a final opinion. But I do think it's a pretty good anime. Just don't put it up on a hill and think it's perfect just because a random guy on the internet said so. Just try it out first and see if you like it. I normally plan stuff out. So next video, the amazing digital circus.